I want to welcome everybody today. This is our third of our five-part educational series. Today's topic is marketing, reviewing and resetting at little or no cost. Our speaker today is Mark Seversky, who is the president CEO of On Your Mark Transportation and literally has a lifetime of experience in the ground passenger industry. Growing up as the son of a Greyhound bus driver to working in all operation positions to being the corporate vice president of Trailways Transportation System, Mark has had a unique opportunities in marketing, human resources, and operations. His talents were tapped as a scheduler of buses for the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver to being the transportation project manager of the 2012 Democratic National Convention. In his role as a consultant to the passenger ground transportation industry, he has performed free DOT audits, written grants, provided startup assistance with school bus operations, has been the intern human resources and safety director for various clients, and has created numerous marketing programs specific to ground passenger industry. Mark and his associates provide a full range of consulting services for the industry. So we're going to turn it over to Mark.
Thank you, Vicki, and thank you all for being here today. Appreciate you taking time from your busy Fridays to be here. I've been asked to give some thoughts on marketing while things are not quite as up and running. I have some other things I'm going to share with you. I can pretty much tell you that in my presentation, there's going to be some items that some of you are going to go, duh. And there's going to be some that some of you go, I've done that before, but I forgot that I've done it and I probably should check on it. And I hope there's at least a few things on here that you're going to look at and go, oh, now there's a new idea. So I hope that we've got a full range of things here for everybody, from someone who's a newer company to some of you 200-year-old companies that are in existence. So thank you again for all of you being here. I'm going to, hopefully with a little bit of luck, share my screen so you can all see what I'm doing. I'm going to allow Michael to tag me if there's a question at this point, but otherwise I'm going to be off and running. As Vicki says, I've got a lifelong experience in the bus industry. I have a passion for it, if you haven't noticed, and I have been to well over hundreds of companies in the United States, Canada, and Europe. So I bring to the table not only what I know, but also what I've seen and heard out there in the industry. So thank you again for being here. And so early on, I had a lot of calls when the CERTS Act was just being talked about. And I want to take a few minutes before we get started with too much down the road here. I want to talk about and answer some of those questions that came to me in June and July. Made my phone just ring off the hook. People were saying, okay, I need you to write my grant for the CERTS Act and I need this money. What do I have to do? Well, almost all of it you can do on your own. I can't think of anything you would need to have someone like myself or another consultant help you with. So we're going to talk a little bit just to make sure, once again, that I hope if and when the CERTS grant is given to us, and I'm really hopeful that it will be, you all have done a lot of work to let our senators and legislatures know we need the money, you especially, and I want to make sure you're ready to hit the ground when it comes. So again, this is probably one of those duh moments, but you're going to need a Dun & Bradstreet number. And I would expect, being in business, you all have one, but some of you may not know where it is. This might be a good chance for you to check and make sure you can put your fingers on it and that you're ready to go there. Then also, you're also going to need a SAMS number and a cage code. SAMS is Systems for Awards Management, and it's a governmental website that you have to go to, sam.gov. When you get there, they're going to ask you a lot of personal questions. What's your bank account number? What's your financials? A lot of different numbers and addresses and social security numbers and all those kinds of things. And I want to let you know that it is a .gov. It's truly a government website. So it's safe to answer those questions. Make sure that you're going through sams.gov and not one of the probably thousands of people who are out there trying to tell you to help. Just it's a .gov. So you do not have to pay someone to do this for you. If you hear someone saying they'll do it, you have all the information. You have the bank numbers. You have the EIN number. You have the social security number. You're going to need to sit there and do it and fill it out. You can pay someone, but they're going to ask you for all those things just to sit there and fill it in. It should take you about 2 hours of sitting there in front of the computer and filling it out. The main thing to do is make sure you're consistent when you're filling in the information from one page to the next. So for example, when I did mine, our company name is On Your Mark Transportation, LLC. So if you put a comma between On Your Mark Transportation, LLC, you need to do that, because if you put it in without the comma, it will kick it back after you're all done and say something's not the same as something else on another page. And to be honest with you, that was my problem. That was probably one of the things I was rushing to go through to do it. And those were probably the biggest mistakes that I made, not being consistent with an address, putting in my post office box instead of my physical address or something like that along the way. So just take your time and make sure that you're being consistent as you go through it and answering all the questions carefully. As I said, I have a cage code and a SAMS number. The cage code comes automatic. Once you get your SAMS number, you automatically get a cage code. But the cage code is usually what's asked most for what it is that you're going to be needing. The SAMS.gov website says it'll take about 10 to 20 business days to get your SAMS number after you've filled out the information. But I can tell you personally, and from what I've heard from others, it's taking over a month. So if you do not have one, you should start the process now or yesterday to make sure you get that and get it in time. So if they all of a sudden pass that search sack, you'll have it handy for you to use when you need to fill out that form. As I said, I have one. You need to have a SAMS number and a cage code to receive money directly from the government, even if it's not considered a grant, and it's free. So it's good to have for other possible contracts you could get through the government. You should be right now, if you're not already registered on other programs, be looking at grants.gov and other government websites for work that may be out there. But you're going to need that SAMS number cage code combination. I receive, because of the work I do in 5311F programs for companies, I need those numbers so that when I get paid, since I'm being paid through the 5311F grant program, I have to provide that to the motor coach companies that I'm doing work for under that program. So it's free, it's easy. So go ahead and make sure you get that number now. SAMS numbers and cage codes must be renewed each year. Now, I have mine. I probably get a notice every 2 days or every day, maybe 2 times a day, from companies saying, we'll renew it for you. Again, don't do that. You can do it yourself. You may think, and I've talked to people who say, yeah, I have it. I'm sure I just know I have it. It's around here somewhere. Well, look it up, find it, make sure that it's still in operation. Make sure that whoever was supposed to have renewed it, did it and got it renewed. Make sure it's still working. Now again is the time to do that. Don't put that off and wait to see at the time that you really need to sit down and put it into your application that you have it. I can't and make that important enough for you to double check that you've got that and it's up to date. Also, you need to have a good set of financial records that for this year and the year before. Even if it's not a grant, everything I've been hearing, reading, talking to people, it probably will be along the lines of as if you were getting a loan from the bank, even though it's not supposed to be a loan. It could be a grant application that's easy enough that you fill out name, address, phone number, but you're going to have to show the need more than likely. And more than likely, that's going to be based off your financials. So if you're like some of my friends who do things on a yellow legal pad and stick it in a file cabinet, you're really going to need some good account CPA type financials that you can insert and upload when you upload the application. So again, make sure that those are looking good and that what's in there is what you want to have and they're accurate. It's also good. This is a good time for you to go out and get letters of acknowledgement from folks that you know. Now, I say that so that it isn't necessarily letters of recommendation. You should get one from your chamber, but if you're not a chamber member, which you should be, we'll talk about that in a minute. But if you're not a chamber member, perhaps you've done work for the chamber, or at least they know who you are. And so it's more of a, yes, I know of Billy Bob's Bus Company. They've been in town for so many years. We acknowledge that they're here and we really need their service. Or your city government, same situation. Maybe you've helped out with something. It would be good from your state legislatures, really good if you could get something from your state representatives and state legislatures. And then now you start getting into the schools and other community organizations, Kiwanis and so forth, where you can get some, again, acknowledgement letters from them. Hopefully they are letters of recommendation saying how good and how much you serve the community. And then, of course, your federal senators and legislators, anything you can get along those lines of letters of support and letters of acknowledgement that you exist and that you are not some scam buddy that just are filling out an application at the last minute. They're going to want to know that you are really a bus company, that you've been around for more than 2 months, and that you have a real need for the money. And these types of support letters are going to help you. As I said, Billy Bob's Motor Coach Company has been serving our community's needs for 3 generations. Maybe you've done a Stuff a Bus program with a radio station or TV station, or that you have a local softball team, whether it's minor league or otherwise, that you've been there supporting them with their advertising and so forth. Maybe you've been there for fire or disaster movements, and that's where city government can come in and say, boy, we really rely on these folks when we have movement for fire situations. Those are the kinds of things that can go into a letter. Or maybe it's something just as simple as, I remember when I used to take Billy Bob's Motor Coach for senior night at Disneyland. And it was one of my best experiences. Whomever or whatever that you can show that you've been in business, that you bring things to the table and to the community and your area of the state, are all good things to put into your application and upload it, no matter whether it's a grant or whether it's just a plain application. It's good to have. And, it's really good to have, even if the CERTS Act doesn't happen or they don't require it, because of course I don't know what they're going to ask because it hasn't been put out there for review yet. Even if it comes out that this is not a requirement, there's nothing wrong with having a whole bunch of up-to-date letters of testimonial or otherwise that you can give out on contracts, post them on your website. You ought to have on your website a place for testimonial letters. This would be a good place to park them while you're waiting to turn them in, or just to have them for the future use. So it's not wasted time to go about getting those letters and and up-to-date information now. You don't want a letter from 5 years ago when you took the church of what's happening now to their event. You want something really fresh and up to date to show you are in business, you are here, and you've been serving even recently, as recent as possible. And that's where I got ahead of myself a little bit. Now, I've had people call me, like I said, in June, July, when they first talked about the Search Act, because for some reason there was some sort of panic rumor or something that there's 3,000 bus companies and there's only a few of us out here who understand the bus industry and who can write grants for this. That part of that may be true as far as the few of us who are actually in the industry and have industry background know what words to write and so forth. But I have not signed anybody up. I've not taken anybody's money. I've not put anybody on a list because I don't know what it is. And I don't know that it's going to be a grant. And so that's my personal opinion and the way I run my business. I do have a concern if some of you did put a deposit down with someone. Have you checked to see if you have, as you're getting your preparation together, have you seen and asked that, something along the lines of, it doesn't look like this is going to be a grant, or this doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think I want my deposit back, and I'll get back with you if a grant actually comes through where I need your service. This would be a good time to test whether you can get your money back or not from someone that you may have put money down with. I just don't believe that there's a need to have a deposit. And just so you find out now that you have that ability to get your money back, or are you locked into something that may never happen? So this would be a good time to check that out. This is the time for preparation and getting ready. So now that we've talked about that and that's all done, and that's the most important thing that if you haven't done, you should be doing right now. Being completely prepared to do nothing more than hopefully sit down, fill out name, address, and those kinds of things so that you're ready to turn that application right around and get it in within hopefully hours, if not a day, of when it comes out. And to have all those things done is so important right now to get ready. At this point, then, now you still have some time because not every bus is running in your fleet. Now is a good time to go through your marketing program, take a review, take a look at what's going on because you've got the time to update. So let's go ahead and take a look at some things that you could or should be doing. And if not, when I say you as a company, not necessarily the people in this room listening right now, but you as a company. So the first thing is your business open? Do I know that by going to your website or your social media? Do I know for sure that you're open? And the reason I say that is I'm in a small town outside of Nashville, Tennessee. It's called Mount Juliet. You'll hear me talking about that quite a bit through here. In Mount Juliet, we have a little what's called HIP Mount Juliet Facebook page. And early on, when things were coming around a little more normal, the May, June area, and we wanted to go out for a restaurant, there were certain things that we wanted to know. Did they have outside dining? Well, were they open? And I would go to the website and I really couldn't tell from their restaurant's website whether or not they were even open for business. So then I had to look around and find their Facebook page, which normally on a website, you ought to be able to go and find the little icon at the bottom that says Facebook and click on it and then see based on if nothing else, then on their Facebook page, it should be saying, yes, we're open and we're having outdoor seating or we have indoor seating and we're separating people and there's pictures of seats far apart. All of that information it's not just people looking to go out to eat. They want to know that about your organization. So early on, can they go to your website and find that out? What are you doing to let them know that you are open, that you're clean, that you're doing cleaning, and that you're ready to do cleaning after someone else ahead of them used your bus? And it doesn't, so many of us think about, oh, I've hauled so-and-so's church forever, and this team forever, and this group forever. And this is not the folks that I'm talking about. You now have, as we know, some of our brothers and sisters are just not able to make it, and their clients are out now looking to see if they're in business, and if not, they got to go through this whole new process of who am I going to use to move my group. And I'm going to be probably more careful about how I choose this time because we love that company. We love their drivers. We knew all about them. We went back to them year after year. Now they got to come and look for someone new, and they're going to be looking for you and looking at your marketing and your information that you're putting out. So are you ready for those people to be looking at you? Does anyone know about the extra steps that you're taking? The extra cleaning, the extra system that you're using to clean? Is it different from Billy Bob's Bus Company? Is it better? Is it do something that you can promote? Don't just say, yeah, we clean our buses twice as much. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean that Susie with a broom comes in and just sweeps it twice a day since she's around anyway? You need to let them know that you're what wipe down you're doing and those kinds of things. And the only way to do that is one, on your website, which would be really good. And then two, and we're going to talk about this over and over, of course, your social media. So more than ever, you need to be present on Facebook, at least on Facebook, because most people tend to look at business pages there. Do you have a business page, or are you trying to get away with using your personal page as a Facebook page? There is a difference. There is a business Facebook page, and it should be kept that way. I have some good friends that I've kind of had to call up and say, I know that that's your Facebook business page, and I know you truly believe in, a certain candidate or a certain cause or a certain issue. There should not be any kind of political, especially right now, anything political in your Facebook pages or any of your social media. And it really, really needs to be pointed toward your business and not about the beach trip you took last week. Please make a business page if you don't have one, and make it and keep it as a business page. It's fine to make sure folks know about the CARES Act and how much our industry needs help. That's more than fine to post something about that. But beyond that, it should be strictly business, what you're doing, that you do have buses running. I don't care if they're pulling out of the yard to go down and bring in a group from Amtrak for a 2-hour run. If that bus moves, you should be making mention of it and posting it, so that people see that you're there, you're ready for the community, and others are using you. They should too. So Instagram is of course a great second, because people love to share pictures. You should be promoting Instagram with your drivers and the groups so that they can be posting pictures from their site to your Instagram account when they do take trips. So we can show happy people having fun with your trip. Instagram is a great location and should be promoted. And then YouTube and Google My Business should be right in there as well. People may go to your website, but your social media is more likely to get traction, especially for updated news and information. So your social media should be your first concentration right now. I say that with this caveat. We lost another fine company here, Hagee Tours, as you probably saw on social media, after 84 years of operation. They were on their Facebook page, and they let folks know that they were going to have to shut their doors, and that was sad news to see. But at the time that happened, which was on Tuesday, this past Tuesday on October 13th. It was posted there. But then I immediately went to their website, and that what you see there is their website, and there's nothing there that at that time indicated that they were going to have to not be in business. And I don't say that as a critical to them. I understand the situation is very hard. It isn't like we want to stand on the mountaintop and shout that, yeah, we're going out of business. But I do believe that it's important that you think about the steps you have to take. And they may not have been able to get a hold of their web person at the time, but they should have held back on their announcement until it came down, so that in fairness, if someone's going to their website to book a trip, they may have been trying to do that because they had a place to do it on their website to book trips. And it should be a common and community type across the board type of explanation. Now they did do it, and it was actually yesterday that I did see on their website, they did post that they were going business, but as you can see it now, it's not. And again, I don't expect big blazing, we're closing business sale type thing, but it was pretty small in the print that they were going out of business. So if I'm a normal client going and clicking, I'm probably not necessarily going to notice that. Here's what they actually put, which was, again, it was what they had in their Facebook page, and it's good information, but it was so small. I think they needed to make a statement that was a little bit bigger. And again, this is not to be critical of them as much as to help anyone here. Not necessarily, I'm hoping no one from this group ever goes out of business, but if you have something that happens in your organization, don't forget your Facebook page, do it, or I'm sorry, your website, do both the social media and the website all at one time. So you have one message that's coming through the system, and it's the same. I do really like the fact that this came right off of their Facebook page. It's the same message throughout, and that's no matter what happens, if good, bad, or otherwise. If you have a situation that you need to address, at the same time, address it on all of your social media and your marketing website and so forth, all the way through the whole system. So that's all of what you see there is what was in the bottom of their website. Another thing is to maintain the cohesiveness of your website and social platforms, and making sure what the message is. It's a same message that's coming through on everything. And it's good to do that. I prefer to post about 3 times a week. You should be doing it at least once a week, so that someone can come to your social media and find out that, well, at least this week or last week, they were still in business. They were still promoting their cleanliness. They were still promoting a trip that they had. Like I said, every time that motor coach pulls out of the parking lot, you should be taking a look to see if you're posting something about that on your social media. That shows you're in business, and that shows that you're doing cleaning. You may not have time because you have so much going on because of reduced staff and still trying to do everything. I understand you may not have time, but your clients do have time when they're going out and looking. They're going to your social media. They're looking to do discovery, and even your own clients are looking to see if you're still around. And most of these folks, it's easier for them to pull up their phone and look up your Facebook page or whatever and see that you're in business rather than call you. That's what most people are doing. So if you do not have, as an individual, the time, do you have a high school or college student for a son, daughter, niece, nephew, or neighbor? Doesn't matter. They can do your social media. They they understand all of them. Give them a sign in, and on Facebook, you can be the owner of your Facebook page, but there is a spot where you can make somebody an editor. So if you're not comfortable with your neighbor's college student necessarily having full control of your business Facebook page, there is a spot where you can sign them up as an editor that all they can do is post. And if you don't like the post for some reason, or they didn't post it the way you wanted, you have the ability to go in and instantly pull it. So you're not giving up control on your social media if you give them a chance to do this, but at least it keeps it up. You can pay them. I have some great folks that do my posting. We have a new marketing assistant, and Mika tells me that she can do it in about 5 to 10 minutes, all of our social media. So it's not going to take them a long time because they know what they're doing. Now for me, we're looking at a half hour or more for me to do posting in all of our social media. So I do have to rely on Mika to do that. And so we're happy to have her with us, and she does it for us. But again, it's a very, very small portion of her duties of what she does with our organization. So get someone like that and use them. Use your social media to talk to your customers and your potential clients. They are out there, and they may not be there today, but they will come back, and they're going to, if they're following you, hopefully they are. And maybe you can do, this is a good time to maybe run some little contests. I've done some things with $50 gift cards, and it's amazing the response that you get for a $50 gift card. So you can get more followers on your social media, and there'll be out there. There will be others who are going to be looking at you and looking for what you're doing. And so now is the time to be letting them know you're there. Regular posting lets them know you're there and that you're ready for them when they do come back. And it lets them know others are using you, and that others are traveling someplace, whether it's short or not. If others are using your equipment, it may make them feel better about saying, well, I guess we don't have to take 10 cars. We still can take a motor coach and we can spread out. So it helps push that along. There are companies that are closing, as you know, right now, or they look like they're closed. Nothing's been done on social media for months, or even a month, or even weeks. Their website has not changed at all. There's nothing on there that says we welcome you and this is what we're doing for you. Don't be one of those companies that look like they're closed. Let's get out there and really, really push to get the message out that you are there, you're ready, and you're helping already service your community. One of the ways that you should be taking a different look at things is video is king. Are you using video, and are you using it properly? For example, when I say properly, many of us have a phone like this that has video capability. Don't film in this way, but film in that type of a direction. It shows up better on websites. This is the way people are used to watching it. Try and do it, and don't let it move and be unstable. Just have it very stable and very steady. But you should be including video on your social media and other places we'll talk about in a minute. YouTube is second only to Google as a search engine. Now, I know a lot of people think, oh, no, Bing or Yahoo or something like that. No, YouTube is, and you can Google this and find out, YouTube is the second, comes in second only to Google as a search engine. And so what really is good is if you create, and it's all free, you create a YouTube channel for your company, and you take that little short video that I was talking about and you put it on your YouTube channel, and then if you pull it from YouTube over to your social media, which is easy to do. And again, believe it or not, I learned how to do it, but I have Mika that does that now. You pull that over to your social media. Now you're on two different websites, and that helps the ranking on multiple things, mostly your name, because Google loves the fact that you're on two different places. So when somebody Googles in bus rental in San Diego, your name will come up because it's been getting more hits than anybody else. So the more you can use multiple platforms and multiple places and multiple things, and especially if you can create a YouTube channel to pull your videos over to your social media, to your website, to other places. And again, there are people who are going to go on YouTube to look at videos. Here's a great place to do a video on how you do the cleaning of your coach. What happens when a coach comes in from a trip? You can get some people who can talk on camera, and again, not necessarily the you don't necessarily have to have your cleaning crew, because that's what they do and they need to do it. Consider going out to a local theater organization or a local community college that has theater folks. They have students or participants that really, really would love to have the exposure and the ability to show their talents. And they'll go on a YouTube video for you and say, this is what we do and this is how we clean, and they'll be your spokesperson and do just a great job. And it will cost you next to nothing, if anything, because they need the experience, they need the portfolio, and you can find some just excellent talent at local community colleges. You may find a high school senior in the theater group who would do it for you for next to nothing. You know, maybe a $50 gift card to the favorite shopping place or something. But you can find very, very good talent at next to no cost that will come off sounding actually very professional. So consider looking for that to create your YouTube videos. It's just as easy to use a short video on your Facebook posts as it is pictures. So a lot of us take a picture of our motor coach pulling out of the lot, and we're saying, yay, they're going out to, you know, the picture of the buses pulling out of the lot. And then we talk about the fact that they're going for an airport pickup, or they're doing a military move, or they're moving firefighters to a different part of the state. A picture is good, but video catches attention and keeps attention, and it gets people to watch. People, as long as it's not a 2-hour video or hour and a half session like I'm taking up, people will tend to watch and stay involved. So a short video will post, and it posts just as easy as a picture does. You can do videos in all types of places on all kinds of social media, including Facebook. In fact, if any place, Facebook's a great place. Again, I would post it on YouTube and pull it across, but you can just as easily take, if you don't have or don't want to take the time to do all that, it's just as easy to take that video from your phone, just like you do a picture, and use that video to post up. Even if it's a bunch of your drivers in uniform looking really good, or whatever it is that they're wearing for your organization, as they're walking to the bus and they're waving, smiling and so forth, that's a great shot too. Something that is simple and more than just a picture of a motor coach. Just open the camera app on your phone, leaving the yard, the cleaning process. If you know of someone who is a great client of yours, you may, while you're talking to them, saying, would you mind writing a letter of testimonial for me for this cert sack? And they come back with a glowing letter. You can ask them to read it to you over video. Better yet, they can read the letter, or at least talk like I am to you directly and say, Billy Bob's Bus Company is just the best. We've used them for 10 years. and we think they're great. Now, you've got two things. One, you got a chance to thank them for being your client. Two, you've got a chance to put them on your website as a testimonial, as a video testimonial. That's even better. And now you've got their letter to put onto your website as a testimonial. So you're using that one visit with that one really, really good client to do multiple things for you. I think most of you have heard of Ryan Kelly and the Terrapin Blue Group. They do an excellent job. If you have the money, you won't find anyone better that can do a great promotional video for motor coach companies. They have the experience. They're wonderful people. So they can do the job. But that being said, you can too. You can do your own videos. You can, again, go to the community college, maybe another college that has a video program. Back to my little town of Mount Juliet, we've got 20, 30,000 residents. Our high school has a video program for their students. It's amazing the work that those students can turn out. So if you don't need a Terrapin Blue type project, consider that. Now, what happens if I Google in your bus company name into Google, and at the end of it, I put in the word reviews? What's going to come up on Google? I'm showing you a screen right now. On your mark, Transportation LLC reviews. And if you'll look on the right-hand side, I've got Google reviews and a whole thing that pops up about our business. And you have that kind of control. You're the one who puts that up there. This is free. You don't have to pay Google for it. It's there, and you should be using it, because when people pull up reviews, they want to look, and right now your company comes up there and it shows you, and it's called Google My Business. You have a control over that. I've got, thank Kevin's 5-star review, and we've got people there who are our clients who have left reviews on our work. You have the opportunity to respond right away, and do that immediately after, and you'll get a notice that that review has gone up. Take the time as quick as you can to post a response to the person who wrote that review and thank them if it's positive. If it's not positive, this is the time to do the best you can without putting the other person down, to say, I'm sorry that we fell short. Please call our office and let us make it right for you. I travel a lot, or I used to, not quite as much lately, but I can travel easily over 100 nights a year, and I have to stay at many, many different hotels. And I will, if I'm in an area that I haven't stayed before, we'll read the reviews on the hotels. I may not stay at a 5-star hotel. It may be at a 4-star because there are some negative comments, but I'm going to go and look and see what those negative comments are about. For one, you can Google the name or click on the name of the commenter and see how many comments they've made and how negative they may or may not be all the time. That makes an important decision for me as a consumer. So having this makes it easy. Also, then the biggest thing is what happened? Did the general manager of that property put in there, we're sorry, we didn't realize that those were going to be teenagers by themselves. We understand it kept you awake, and please contact me for a free room for your next stay. Those kinds of out in the open, address it up front, let the public know you know what's going on. That actually turns a negative into a big positive. So get Google My Business if you don't have it, and use it. Every time someone posts on your Facebook page or your LinkedIn business page, which you should have, another one, and Instagram. Another stop that Mika goes is to our Google My Business, and she posts there as well. So you'll see all the time postings on all social media. This is a good place because it says, what else do you want to know? It's all right here for the person who is using Google for their research. Again, you have the control and you should control the content. You can control the content even if it's a negative review. So go ahead and be on top of that so that you control the reviews. It is free to use. It's called Google My Business. And here you can see, if you put in right into Google My Business, there is the place to go. And then you go to My Business and it's real basic setup. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of back and forth because you have to put their address in. They have to send you a postcard and make sure you're a real address and all those kinds of things. There is a little bit, it's not instant, but it's well worth the time and especially worth the money because it's free. To help your reviews to go up, if someone calls you, someone sends you a letter, ask them if you feel comfortable enough, if they could actually go to that website, Google My Business, and do a review. Then you can get them who will have a positive review to put another positive review up on your review, Google My Business review. So you're just asking them, boy, I really, really appreciate this letter. Do you mind taking an extra minute? And I've never had a problem asking one of my clients who have told me that they've appreciated what we've done to take a moment and put something up as a review. And they've been more than happy to do so. So it can be done and should be done. In your posts, you should be using hashtags. In other words, keywords that your clients might use to find you. Now, we all tend to call us a charter bus or charter motor coach or charter. Believe it or not, the industry, people looking at our industry think of it as a rental bus. And so the hashtag rental bus is going to help you more than the hashtag charter bus, because more people tend to look at rental bus and think of rental bus than they do charter bus, especially if they're newer teacher, newer church person who's looking for something. They want to rent a bus and they'll put in a hashtag. And then when you put those hashtags on, it draws attention to your Facebook page or other social media that you're using. So make sure you use hashtags. Make sure you use them on a regular basis. Something that you can use that will describe your business. So, for example, we have Motor Coach Consultant. We use Bus Love. We use On Your Mark Transportation's long, so we go OYMT. So make sure that you have regular hashtags that you use, because the more you use them, the more that it will pull people toward your website or your Facebook page, the more that your name will come up when those are used. Think about this when people are writing reviews. Back to my HIP Mount Juliet page, I have probably seen more than I should, but he's just an excellent appliance repair person. The man shows up early every time. He gives us a budget and he is under budget every time. So I try to help him. And to be honest with you, this last repair I got was free because of my marketing on his behalf. So when I post, and I do because he is so amazing, when I post in our HIP Mount Juliet page, if he came out and did oven repair, I say more than I had my favorite appliance repair person come and do my oven repair. Nate is the same great guy who did my refrigerator repair, as well as my stove repair, and even did my washing machine repair and dryer repair. In fact, when he did my dishwasher repair, he was under his estimate. He is always on time and never over budget. But you notice that every word that he does, I put into my review. Now, I can tell you, if you go to the Hip Mount Juliet page and you have a broken dishwasher and you write in there, as gets me every time, they always do. So many people in our community, without doing a search, they'll just say, who does a good dishwasher repair? It comes up. Same thing if they do a search on dishwasher repair, Nate comes up every time with one of my recommendations. So you can help others with that, but you can get others to do that with you. So consider helping them or others who do it for you to write your reviews that way. As I mentioned already, hashtags help. Make sure you use them in any of your posts. Another way for people to learn about you is to use your blogs. Blogs are still there. They're still very, very good. I can't tell you the number of people who have called our office, and I have a former journalist who does our writing, and she does blog posts, and they call looking for Amy because Amy wrote about whatever it is. Now, Amy is a journalist, so she actually interviews people who know what the topic is, but it's her name that they see, and I really don't care because the blog post is out there in the Google world. So if you type in a search grant, it's going to come and bring you to our website and probably most likely get Amy's post on the blog post. And it's because of Amy's blog post that we're getting the phone calls. You can do the same thing by using blogs. Just attach it to your website. It becomes another place. Again, I know you're doing payroll, you're doing payments on insurance, you're making sure the buses are repaired. When I say you, it should be your company. And this is where you start to get your neighbor or someone else in your organization that's not completely booked to come up and sit down and do some writing. Anybody with a writing skill can write a blog. It's really not that difficult. If it is, give us a call. Amy will interview them and get it done really quick. So it doesn't have to be that difficult. Just add an extra tab and your menu bar. Blogs become part of your website, and then you start talking about things such as cleaning or safety or maintenance, or more important, something that's dear to all of us is why it's more than just low price when you're choosing a motor coach company. Tell them why you are who you are and let them know what makes you different. The blog gives you a chance to do that. If you write it in the blog at the same time, put it in your social media saying, we've just posted a blog about how to choose a motor coach company. We think you'll like it. Here's the link. And again, now you're linking two different locations, and it really helps with search engines and the search engines loving your website and your business name. Maybe you want to talk about the importance of insurance and asking whether or not that the organization they're getting a quote from has provided you with an up-to-date insurance, and have you called that insurance company, especially during these times, to make sure that insurance is being paid for. So it's very, very important that you give that information to others, because again, this is the time when you may be getting people coming and looking for information from you. Give them the information. You become the expert in motor coaches. Don't forget, this is a great place also for video. You can put video in your blogs just as easy. This is Sydney. Sydney is our video production person, and Sydney is an intern for us from Middle Tennessee State University. Sydney does amazing work. You should see it. Well, you go to our website, you'll see her work. And but we use her to introduce our blogs now. And in fact, we had one of our articles that was picked up by Bus and Motor Coach News. They were able actually to use this very video to help introduce the article itself. So videos are very helpful, very important. I hope you can hear this. It may be a situation with the number of people who are on.
Hey everybody, it's Sydney, your On Your Mark Transportation video producer. Thank you for reading my blog about the importance of video on social media and websites. I hope that you found it interesting and helpful. We can produce all types of videos for your organization, whether you need video content for social media or a website to training and marketing. My associates and I can make it happen for you. As you can see from my blog, video can help increase the views on your website and social media and draw attention to your company. We welcome your feedback on our blog, including mine. Drop us an email and let us know what you would like to see next. Thanks again for viewing.
So she's an intern at Middle Tennessee State University. She becomes our spokesperson on camera. And then she also not only shoots the video, but she does all the editing as well. So you can find those kind of people. If not, give us a call because Sydney would be more than happy to help you. All right, let's move on. You can use keywords here to inside your blog to talk about what it is you're doing, such as clean buses or clean. And again, remember, I'm using the term buses a lot because that's what our clients think of us. We know they're motor coaches, but they're looking for buses. So use the term clean buses or safe buses when you're using titles and so forth. That will help draw. If someone does a Google search, it's going to see that in the title of the blog and will come and help find your blog. So this is, as I was said, up there is our website, and you can see highlighted On Your Mark blog is just another one of the tabs that we have on our website, and that draws people to that, and they can get more information. It's more of a place to park them. People aren't necessarily going to go to your website to read your blog, but they're going to read your blog from your social media. And then if you park it here, it will draw people to the website. Again, if you're not writing, it's easy to find writers for next to no cost. You may find an English teacher at your local high school, or a college intern. Maybe a college intern or maybe a college intern. You know, I really believe in college interns. That's real easy to get them. They don't have huge expectations of a full-time job because they've got college work to do. But you can get some very talented people who have been taking classes in writing, or they've been taking classes in marketing, and you can get them to help you out at a very inexpensive rate. Now, what about those websites? What is your website looking like? When was the last time you looked at your website? And again, when I say you, I don't mean you personally, but someone from your organization, maybe your college intern, your high school student, your daughter, son, niece, nephew. When did someone sit down, go from left to right, top to bottom, and go through your website to really look at your website? You should, but if nothing else, make sure someone does. Does every link work in your website? Are the photos up to date? And who is in the pictures? And oh my gosh, please, will you please put pictures of your organization in there? I know we have spent a ton of money on those beautiful buses and beautiful motor coaches, but please put pictures of folks, people, riders. Of course, you need to get permissions and so forth, but drivers, staff, get pictures of people in your website, not just pretty buses. So that I don't pick on anybody in the state of California. This is a positive thing. I would ask that you go to Windstar Lines, go winstar.com, I believe it is, or go winstarlines.com. Go to their website. they know how to do websites. They have, it tells you that they're open. It's right on there about their cleaning. There are 3 pictures on the bottom. 2 of them are people. 1 of them is bus. So take a look at who and what are in your pictures. If you go to our About page, the About page is not about Pretty Motor Coaches. They have a picture of their drivers in uniform, standing there. They look professional. They look great. It makes me want to charter their motor coach because I look like I'm going to be working with a professional organization. Check them out. They do a really nice job. Are there videos on the homepage? You can do that. Is this something that says that you're open? Is there, check the date at the bottom of your website. I've been doing a lot of phone calls back to companies. They leave me a message, please call me about grants or call me about writing an RFP. And the first thing I do is go to their webpage so I know a little bit about the company. And it's really disappointing to look down at the bottom where it says copywritten in 2018, 2017. I've seen some 2000. It means that people haven't updated their page, and at least that bottom date. It's not hard to do that. Get everything up to date. Is it viewed on mobile devices? More than 50% of the people will view their website on a mobile device. Can they see it clearly? You need to know, is it responsive? So if I turn it this way, does your website turn? If I turn it this way, does your website turn again? So you need to know that your website is being responsive on mobile devices. And it has to be put into the system that way. So if you don't know, ask your webmaster. If you did it yourself on one of the do-it-yourself websites, you best be trying to find some professional help to see if it's responsive. Make sure your contact information, including your physical and your mailing addresses. I can't tell you the number of times I've called a business and asked for someone and they go, oh, they don't work here anymore. Or you fill out the contact form and it doesn't work. Do you know that contact us? Does your form work? Who knows how many people in the last month have been trying to contact you through that contact form. And if it's not coming to you or whoever it's supposed to be, or maybe it's going to someone who's already left or maybe they're on furlough right now, where's that contact information going? You need to check it and be up on it. Is your website secure? Now, what that means is there will be a little up in the top left-hand corner, a little lock on it on your website. If you go through your own browser, whether you use Google Chrome or any of the other browsers, Internet Explorer, if you use the same browser all the time, you're going to be able to see your own website. What you need to do is go to your home computer, go to your neighbor's computer, especially with Firefox is a great browser to use. If it's not a secure website, there's a warning that comes up and it says, this is not a secure website. We recommend that you do not go any further. And if people see that, they won't go further. So you may be losing business if you don't have what's called an SSL certificate. That may be not something that you can do. You may have to go to your webmaster, but it shouldn't take them long and it shouldn't be expensive to do it. So make sure, and trust me, losing people because you don't have an SSL certificate. And I've seen a lot of them when I've been calling companies that first say to me, are you sure you want to go forward? I know the industry, I do go and look, but there'll be a lot of people who won't. So get your SSL certificate. Are you collecting emails and when you're giving quotes? You should be. If you are, what are you doing with those emails? Are you doing things with Constant Contact, MailChimp, sending out email newsletters, information pieces? Now's a good time if you haven't been doing it. again, these are low cost or no cost things that you can do to let your people know, even if they've only been looking for a quote, yes, we're here, we're happy to serve you. Here is how we are doing the cleaning of our buses. I'm getting a bunch of them from different hotels that I've traveled to in the past. And I know that when I go back out to these certain properties, that I know the process that they're going through based on their newsletters. So you can use Constant Contact or MailChimp or so forth. Again, be the expert. Let people know through your newsletters. Are you a member of your Chamber of Commerce? You should be if you're not, and you should be active, because when you're active, you are going to after hours functions or ribbon cuttings. They don't take long. Or again, someone from your operation can go, your marketing person. Have a bunch of business cards and make sure that they're up to date, and brochures. And does your brochure and your business card look the same? This is our brochure. That's my business card, and that's my website. There's a theme going on, the red and the white, the logo is the same. Everything, it looks cohesive. You should too. Don't look at it like you just made it on the computer last night. Are you a member of, or do you have service clubs, Rotary Lions or Kiwanis? They're always looking for guest speakers for luncheons or breakfasts. This is not a point for you to sell people. This is a point for you to teach about why and what they should look for in a motor coach company, why the cheapest bus is not the least, the best bus. So teach, don't sell. So at this time, I want to thank you again for having me. I'm going to take this moment to try and answer the questions that may have come in. Michael, if you'll let me know if there are any.
I don't see any questions right now. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and type it in the Q&A, or you can push the raise hand button and you can open up your mic. Anybody have questions? All right, 1 second, Jenny. All right, Jenny, just hit your unmute button and you should be able to ask.
Hi, I'm hanging out outside. I have work I'm doing, so I've only been able to listen, so I've missed all the slides. Are they going to be available to look at later?
Yes, the presentation and video will be available.
Okay, because I'm only being able to do listen only at this point.
Yeah. They will
Thank
be.
you for listening.
Appreciate you doing this. I'm so sorry I couldn't attend an actual listen and pay attention all at the same time, but I appreciate you coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Anybody else have a question? All right, I'm not seeing anything else. Vicki, you wanna come back on?
Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for coming, and thank you, Mark. There's a lot of good information there. I want to remind everybody that next Friday, the 23rd at 10 a.m. is the fourth in our series. It'll be managing your risk while restarting. Our guest speakers will be Bob Crescenzo from Lancer Insurance and Michelle Wilkin from National Interstate Insurance. Make sure you register. Each one of these have to be registered individually. And other than that, everybody have a great day, and let's hope this CERTS gets onto something and we get some relief really soon. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again, Mark. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.